All right, today we're going to put on the new back deck, or the new top for the Bayliner 3988. This is 1998 Bayliner 3988. I already have a deck built, and I'm just going to do the install. So here's some of my helper. So here's what we're going to be using is a lift, a drywall lift. We're going to set it up in there. That will hold the top up, put it into place while I get the stanchion bars. There'll be 3 stanchion bars, one on each side, one in the middle. So I'll have to do a bit of moving around to that stuff. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. There's going to be a lot of kind of fiddling around with getting the top to fit into that rub rail, or that gutter rail, that's aluminum gutter rail. It's done, then I can attach the stanchion bars, but it's first time doing it. I will document the best I can, see how that goes. All right, here's the top that we're going to put on for the 3988. So this edge, it's about, I think it's about 13 feet across. This edge here is what's going to fit in this aluminum gutter that goes onto the boat, and then this gets screwed onto the boat every 4 inches. So there'll be screws on the inside going into the boat through the top. But this is going to be the adjustment as well. If it's not totally level, then I may have to grind down some of this edge here to make it level. Okay. Oh. Okay, so this top now needs to, the underside of this top, this lip, can you see the lip? Right there. Has to fit inside the rain gutter on the top of the boat, on the bridge. You can't do that because this gets in the way. So this needs to be notched out for this rain gutter. So I'm going to notch this out the distance of here. It should be able to just slide right in over top of that. So this will hang down that much below this rain gutter. It was at this stage where we had to do quite a bit of adjustments of the deck, where we had to grind the inside and outside edges so that the deck, when pushed forward, fit tight up against the back of the boat. Okay, here's what I have so far. 2 stanchions have been put in, top is on, and I've screwed all the screws to the back of the boat. Pre-drilled with, I believe it was 3/16 screw every 4.5 inches. Along there. I couldn't put one in here because there's a tube that goes up along the front here for a light, and that's just kind of in the wrong spot. I guess if I would have started the screws at a different interval, it wouldn't have been in the way. Good to know for next time. I had a bit of grinding to do in here just to get it to fit properly. Probably end up putting one of these screws probably in the side through the boat there, just to kind of secure it even more. Quite a bit of grinding on the starboard side, just up in that area. Had to grind the inside of this lip and the outside in some spots, and then also had to notch out for the drip rail. So next step, and then the stanchions I've put on. The stanchions come kind of pre-angled, however, the angles don't always line up. I actually had to use just a adjustable wrench, and I just kind of bent these so that they're supposed to be 8 inches from the back here to the center here, and about 2 inches in from the side. So that's kind of where that lined up, and this is about 9 inches from here to center on the back of the boat. That one went fine. This one didn't. I had to do a bit more adjusting. I had some downrigger mounts here that were in the way. I'll have to fill those properly after. So these ones here didn't quite line up as well. Pre-cut. I had to pre-cut this one. It's a little down a little bit now, but because you can't really get in there with a tool easily, it was easier to pre-cut it and then lower it in. I'll cut those other two after, because I'm going to have a bunch that I'm going to have to cut for the rails. And then here's the top, what it looks like. And then here's the top of where the joint is. So I'll have to put silicone along that, in that groove. Started doing the railing. I got the railing up there this morning. Just laid it up on top of the deck, and then I took these T's and just kind of tightened them on. I laid them on the deck, and then I put the actual posts flat on the deck with it loose on the railing, so that when it stood up, all the legs swung down into position. And then I tightened them onto the railing. They're not exactly in the right spot right now. I'll adjust those after. Yeah, there's a little bit of adjustment to do around the railings. And then once I have the railings all kind of lined up, I'll attach the side pieces onto the side of the boat. Here's what I have so far. The railings are up somewhat. They're not fastened totally. I've drilled this one and all the back ones to here, and then I'm going to fasten those with some sealant before I put them in, just because there's an open hole. I want to seal those up before I put them in. Spacing, I kind of just went about 3.5 inches from the skid plate, from the skid texture to here. But really all you have to do is just put them somewhere within the bend here. Here's where the start of the bend happens, but I moved it over about 2 inches either side, and then just kind of center the bars to where you think they should go. This one here, I just kind of moved up, same thing, within very close to where the bend starts. And these I haven't fastened yet. I'm going to wait until these get fastened. I center it, then I'll put these into place after. So next I'll be fastening the poles. Okay, got these posts all screwed down and bolted down from the underside with a washer and lock nut. Now I'm just going to work on these angle pieces, these ones here, and then it's going to attach to the side of the tower, just with a special attachment in that groove. And then these are the ones that I actually had to bend a little bit more, so the angles weren't quite. Angles weren't quite right with these stanchion bars, so I just kind of adjusted them with the wrench and made them right, and it seemed to work really well. Okay, here we are on top of the boat. I've attached the deck to the back of the boat. siliconed it. Didn't do a great job. Definitely do better. I might put another layer in there just to make it a bit cleaner. Silicone kind of goes around the edge. Might still put a screw in the outside of that and in. I've seen that before. Here's where the railing comes in. So with the railing, I had it nice and lined up here, but because it had to go in on a bit of an angle, this bar should have gone in and maybe curved a bit and in, but it doesn't. It's just a straight bar. So I had to bring the bar on a bit of an angle so that it attaches to the side of the boat, or to the side of the boat. But by doing that, I had to move these feet in a little bit each way. So kind of in 3/4 of an inch there, and another 3/4 of an inch or an inch, so that it could line up and fit into the bracket that I had to mount on the side of the boat. And the other way is the same. So basically, to make this work, I lined up this one, or the back bracket here, and over there is the same distance apart, and then I kind of just work my way back until and then force the bars on a bit of a, they're flexed a little bit to fit into the side mounts. And still a bit of caulking to do on that corner there. Other than that, I've got the center stanchion to put in still. Looks like it was a bit off on the size on the cut, so I might have to get that center stanchion cut down by about an inch. But I'll show some more video of that. Now I'm just cutting off the excess bolts for the railings. Just with an angle grinder, and then just kind of smoothing the tops of the edges so they're not sharp. So I'm just working on these ones now. And here's the final product of the boat. I've added the center stanchion, which is right here. Still have to cut off those bolts. This one here, the center stanchion was too long by about an inch. I had to cut off an inch and have it re-welded. But because I had that old barbecue hole there, I had a new piece made here that was bigger. It was 3.5 inches, I believe, so that covers the old hole, and I just siliconed or Sikaflexed in there. So now there's the center stanchion. I had to put a lot of pressure to still lift up on that deck. It put a bit of an arch in the deck, which is what I kind of want, and it fit nice and tight. So now I've got that all siliconed in, and we're pretty much done the install. Pretty happy with it.